Hey guys, well today I have just completed my last DIY design and emotion-led design workshop at Michael's Stores, my last one for the summer. And so I wanted to come on really briefly and basically share some of the top things and top challenges and concerns that came up in the class today from my attendees. So I want to share with you the top 3 concerns that most home decorators and DIY designers struggle with putting together a space. Challenge number 1, what I heard most today was, I don't know where to start. Okay. Most people feel very overwhelmed, frustrated, or I even heard not qualified, or they feel like, oh, I won't be able to put my space together myself, but I need to hire a designer. But of course, most of us can't afford a designer. So they don't know where to start. So that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is not knowing how to create a budget for the actual project. Okay. I found out today, as well as in previous classes, that most people really just don't have an idea of what things cost. I hear so many times that people will say, oh, I just want to create my office space, or a small nursery, or even a half bathroom. All of these are smaller rooms, smaller spaces. And I hear, oh, I just want to spend $500. Oh, you want to spend $500 for a nursery? Oh, it's a small nursery, or it's a small half bathroom, and I want to just spend $500. Well, when creating a budget or considering working on a project, you also need to consider not just what things cost in terms of, big pieces or accent pieces, but you need to consider the project as a whole. The last challenge that we talked about today was how to shop for the space. Most people are overwhelmed once they get to the store. They may think they have an idea, and they think they have a plan, but in all actuality, they're all over the place. And especially when you are already a little, I don't want to use the word inadequate, but you're already a little frustrated or unsure about your ideas. So most people just don't know where to start. So today I'm here to kind of clear up some of those things. So the first thing to help you fix some of those challenges that you may be experiencing, like some of my attendees from the class today, first thing is sign up for my next class. But yeah, sign up for my next workshop and I can go even further in detail about how you can help prevent some of these challenges. But for today's sake, I'm gonna give you some tips. The first challenge of the day was where to start. First thing first is always have a plan, okay? And the plan is not just, oh, I want my room to be blue. Oh, I want to have stripes on the wall. That's not a plan. A plan is to consider the whole space that you're trying to work through and to fix. Consider it as a project, okay? For those of you who work in corporate America, or even not even just corporate America, but whatever job you work, most of us have experienced some type of project management. We've learned some skills along the way. Use those skills. You need to consider each room that you're decorating like a project, and you want to manage the project. And so, if you know project management, from start to finish, you have to consider the whole room, okay? So come up with a plan that not only includes the colors or what accents you would use, what accent colors you're going to use, or what furniture you're going to use, but consider if the walls need to be painted or resurfaced, or you need to change the fixtures out, or you need to change the door handles out, or you want a new fan. All of those items should be included in your planning stages, because again, you want to look at your space as an individual project. A lot of people think about it as like the whole house. You don't want to design the whole house at one time. You want to break each individual bedroom or space into a project, and you want to work on one project at a time. And the next one is how to create a budget. So when you're creating a budget, you also want to consider everything that's going to be in that project. So most people will only budget back to those small rooms. I just want to do a small nursery. I just want to do a small half bath, and I want to do it for $500. Okay, cool. But if let's just say half bath. If we're doing a half bath, which I'm actually working on a project right now, and this half bath, it has an area where it's going to be an accent table and cabinet in the bathroom, okay? And the floors will be redone, paint needs to be done, okay? If you have a project small, so to speak, and you're saying you want to spend $500, but you have to consider all of the material cost, if it's any labor that has to be involved in the project, as well as delivery costs. That is the number one thing to this evening that most people forget to include in their budget. In the workshop today, we were able to work on their budget. We was able to do an audit sheet to show them how to, pick and choose pieces that they were going to be using in their space, how to use pieces that they already have. That's another tidbit that you'll learn in my workshop. But you also want to think about those things, those added costs that most people forget about, and it sneaks up on you. So if you're doing a half bath, and in this particular case has an accent cabinet that's going to be in there, and the flooring is going to be done, and it needs to be painted. I hadn't even talked about decor yet. So you want to consider all of those elements of the project before you create your budget. So you may see that $500 is not enough when you know it's going to cost a painter, $100 to come, repaint that whole bathroom, or the flooring is, $1.50 or a square foot for a tile or, vinyl, So those are some things that you want to think about when you're creating your budget. And lastly, the last challenge of tonight was how to shop for the space. And so another little tidbit that my attendees learned today on shopping for their space is they were able to create their own custom mood board, okay? They were able to create their own custom color palette. They also created, not only did they learn the emotion-led design technique, they were also able to really think about the space in a different light. And so because of that, one thing that they learned when they created their Essence mood board is to capture their personality and to create the space just for them. But if it's not within their theme, leave it in the store. Repeat after me. In your planning process and you create your theme, which you'll learn too with the class. What do I do? What do I buy? Where to start? Well, what we're doing right here is creating your theme so you know where to start. So the next level, step 3, is the essence of you. Okay? We're getting ready to create a essence mood board. Once you create your theme and you create your board for your project and you create your color palette, then you know how to shop. Then that's the hardest part for most people. So if it's not in your theme, leave it in the store. Okay, so that's what they learned. If it's not in your theme, leave it in the store. So that way you don't have to make these rational or irrational and emotional decisions when shopping for your space. So I hope you all were able to get something out of it. If you're interested in hearing more what I have to say about emotion-led design and how you can use emotions to design your space, please stay tuned. If you want to even take it a step further, visit my website. I'll post a link below. Visit my website and take my design personality quiz. Once you take the quiz, you're able to see what your design style is. It has a psychology backing to it. So it's a little more than just figuring out if you like mid-century modern versus traditional. It's more so in depth to show you how your personality can be revealed in design. So if you want to know more, please feel free to visit the link, take the quiz, and become a subscriber. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my list, and you'll get all of the new information that I'm about to release soon. with the company. We're actually going through a rebrand right now, but until then, get on the list, guys. You don't want to miss all the things that I'll be sharing soon and to our next classes. So get a chance to get on the list, and so you get updates on when we'll have the next class. So I hope you were able to receive some information from today's video, and please, please, please share, and don't forget to drop comments in below if you have a question about exactly what is emotion-led design, or you want to know more about the workshops that I offer. Please drop a comment below. All right, guys, talk with you soon. Bye. What is your greatest takeaway from attending the DIY class with Bridget?
I would definitely say there's two. Like, first, the whole idea of starting with what do you want to feel when you're in that space? That is such a great concept, because sometimes we know what we want to feel. I mean, you know what you want to feel, but you're choosing all these other things that look and maybe how you think a living room should look, or a bedroom should look, or a space should look. It's not how you want to feel in your space, but you're choosing it for all the wrong reasons. And so I love starting with how do you want to feel, and then how that relates to the colors that you choose, and the whole idea that using the color to keep a space cohesive, no matter what textures or patterns that you're using, and the information about how it relates to the color wheel. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited to go finish my kids' room that is like been a disaster and totally needs some help. So I would say definitely the emotion and the color and how that is all conveyed and works together for a beautifully cohesive space that feels like you want it to. I really, really liked it.
Takeaway from attending the DIY Bridget Printing event?
The emotion portion of it, the matching the emotion with the colors, and knowing that it's more than just color, it's the theme as well. Like, that was like everything for me, because I always thought of just color. So the theme and the emotion kind of like tied everything together and just made everything make sense.
Awesome. You ready to go design your room?
Yes, I am. I'm so ready. I feel like I have everything I need now.